So we talked about grief last time we chatted, and now we'll talk a little bit more about that and the importance of love to overcome pain.
Yeah, it's so important, isn't it? It's an emotion that all of us, I suppose, have felt or wish to feel in the future, and it's very important for many things. It's been researched actually that when one feels love, even though one can't explain what it is, one just feels a lot better about life, about oneself. And so the feeling that we call love is extremely important to try to not only feel for oneself, but also promote in others.
Yeah, that's right. Support them with love if they're in grief.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And so as we spoke about grief last week, we were speaking in regards to my father, Bill Lennon, and that's how it started. And we've lost a few celebrities this week, haven't we? Start off with Andy Roach, the Australian Aboriginal activist, like amazing songwriter. And then we had Judith Durham, and then our beautiful Olivia.
I know, incredible. And yesterday, Paul Green from of course, if people follow the NRL, it's one of those things. Sometimes it happens a bit in spurts with celebrities, and yes, it's been one of those weeks that hopefully it's ending and we don't lose many more. And well, I love Archie Roach. I thought he was a pioneer in music. I mean, let alone Indigenous music, but just in Australian music. I just loved his voice, and I still love it actually. But it's without him, obviously. I think it's now we can look back at his life. Same with Olivia, of course, an amazing the person that seemed to be very, very generous and helpful, according to people that worked with her. And look, when we look back when someone dies, we always tend to focus on the good things. I'm sure that they would have liked to work on themselves as well. There's always room for that, but what they portray is a certain image, and that's what is important as well in life. Yeah,
there's always like things to do to improve ourselves, isn't there? And by even loving ourselves more, we can improve ourselves, can't we?
Yes, without a doubt. I mean, with grief, it's important that when we continue our lives without that person, that we wish to start working on ourselves, because I'm sure that other person that's not here with us would love us more even, and would wish for us to be able to progress as human beings. That's almost like a homage to that person to say, you're not here, but I'm going to live my life better for both of us now. And that's a wonderful thing if one can get, the head around it and remind ourselves as well every day, because we get caught up in triviality. And I think when something like this happens, when we lose someone important in our own lives, and even when we lose someone that's a celebrity that was important in our lives, we might not have known them personally, but they've impacted us. Then I think it's a good time for reflection and to work on ourselves.
It does make us reflect, doesn't it?
It does, and it reminds us how temporal everything is.
Yeah, it's like a big wake-up call, really.
Yep, for sure. It reminds us how we worry about things that probably aren't that important.
Yeah, and people that worry about everything like that other people think about them too. That's such a waste of time, isn't it? Because it's nothing really to do with you. It's someone else thinks about you, really.
Yes, look, we all have our perspectives, and some people sometimes have limited information of that other person, so they make a judgment. But that in itself says a lot about them. Of course, going back to giving an image, we all give an image. So if someone has a certain impression of us, it's for a reason as well. So I think we have to meet halfway. The other person has to decide, hey, hang on, I'm going to get to know this person, or ask a few questions, or if I'm interested, ask them even. And for oneself, rather than get upset, maybe decide to think about what made that person have that impression of me. Maybe there's something I'm doing, and that could be also something we can work on.
That's true. So it's really important as well, as I've I think about this all the time and I try to live by it, but it's when you lose someone, it makes you think about it more, just to tell the people that you love them as much as you can, as often as you can.
Without
every
a
day.
doubt. Without a doubt. Life is very fragile.
Yeah.
And there's no real aid. There's a saying, actually, that in Spanish, or it was Latin originally, and it says the only condition there is for dying is that you have to be alive.
Yeah, I love that. It's so true.
So
you can't die if you're not alive. Yeah.
Anytime, any moment.
Yeah.
And it's important, even though it sounds pessimistic, it's important to remind ourselves that death is imminent, because it helps us concentrate on the now.
Yeah.
And like you said, remind ourselves to tell those people that we love them. And if we can't say it, because a lot of people can't or find it difficult.
Show it.
Show it.
Give them the cuddle or
Without a doubt, yeah. And just by actions speak louder than words. And I was talking to somebody about that today. Sometimes we don't have to be literal about things. Maybe show something that someone that you apologise. Show them that you love them. Show them that you care. We don't need to say it. Sometimes just by an action.
That's right.
The other person gets it.
That's right. So live life to the fullest. That's what grief tells us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
Concentrate on now.
On the now.
Remind ourselves of the fragility and temporality of life, and also not be afraid to take charge, because I'm sure if we all had our time again when we get to the end, we would want to concentrate more on those moments that were just fleeting, that were so important, but we didn't really pay much attention to.
True. Thank you, Carlos. It's very beautiful of you to come in today and speak about grief again. We'll speak about something a little bit more happier next time, won't we? But we're trying to make grief more happier, aren't we?
I think so. I think everything's related. You need the yin and the yang, you know, to understand. In order to understand happiness, we have to understand sadness. And it gives us an opportunity to define things and to make sure that we accept life with everything that comes with it.